And good morning. I'm Carol Costello. Thank you so much for joining me. Republicans have made no secret of the need to broaden their tent to win back the White House, and in particular, score big with Hispanic voters. Now, Jeb Bush is debuting a new ad that not only spotlights his ability to speak Spanish, but also features someone Bush has referred to as his secret weapon. That would be his Mexican-born American wife, Columba.
I have lived more than half my life here, so I agree that we all have the same interests, the same feelings.
Nuestros valores son muy parecidos. Me siento orgulloso de que mis hijos y nietos son hispanos.
So you see, Jeb Bush was speaking Spanish, something Donald Trump has criticized, but his wife was speaking English. And she was the one born in Mexico. She is now an American citizen, by the way. Here to talk about all of this is Justin Sayfie. He's the former chief speechwriter and former senior policy advisor to then Governor Jeb Bush and president and CEO of the U.S. Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to both of you, Justin and Javier Palomares. He's the president. Did I say your name, Javier? I don't even remember.
You did,
I don't think
Good
I
enough.
did. I did. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'll start with you, Justin.
Good morning, Carol.
I thought it was a very touching ad, but Jeb Bush's reaching out to the Hispanic community doesn't seem to be resonating, at least outside of Hispanic circles. Tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, look, this is a brand new ad. This is the beginning of Governor Bush's campaign. It's just getting started, and Governor Bush's ability to be bilingual and to do an ad like that is going to give Hillary Clinton and liberal Democrats a lot of sleepless nights, because he is going to campaign inclusively, and he is campaigning inclusively from the beginning, and his ability to do that, his own personal experience, is going to be very effective over time with all Americans, including Hispanic voters.
But Javier, Governor Bush's poll numbers just seem to keep going down.
Well, I think, Carol, first of all, I think it's the right thing to do. I think in telling his personal story, Jeb Bush tells the story of a broader Hispanic community, a community that is centered around faith and family and hope and collaboration. So I think, first and foremost, it's the right thing to do. It's his story, and it's very genuine. Secondly, as it relates to the polls, let's keep in mind that at this time in 2012, Rick Perry was about 38% of the polls. By December in 2012, Gingrich was about 41%. So it's a bit early to start talking about that right now. I think as it relates to his story, I think it connects not only with the Hispanic community, but with a broader narrative around bringing people together and illustrating that the Republican Party is a party that, frankly, can engage all people in America.
But Justin, isn't it true that it's imperative for Governor Bush to deliver a fine debate performance, because a lot of people felt he didn't do so well the first time? If he has two consecutive appearances where he doesn't do well, that won't bode well for him, will it?
Well, I think you're going to see a very strong performance from Governor Bush tomorrow night in the debate. He's the most prepared to be president of the United States. He's got a conservative record. I think you'll see him talk about that. I think you'll see him contrast that with some of his opponents who may not have such a strong record of conservative performance. So I think you're going to see him do very, very well tomorrow night.
And Javier, go ahead, Javier, finish the thought.
I agree. I think what I'm looking for, what my constituency of 3.2 million Hispanic business owners that represent a contribution to this economy somewhere around $490 billion on an annual basis, what we're looking for is somebody that's going to get beyond the spectacle and get down to the substance. We want to hear about a proven track record. We want to get past the rhetoric and get down to the record and see and hear from individuals that have got a plan and that can point to substantive accomplishments when they were in office.
And Javier, I just wanted to ask you one question about Donald Trump. He had that big rally in Dallas last night, right? And 1,500, your hometown, 1,500 protesters turned out, most of them Hispanics, and they were carrying signs like Trump is a racist, he's like Hitler, they had a Trump piñata. Is he splitting the country? Has that happened, Javier?
It definitely has. I think rightly so. The Hispanic community is outraged. What Donald Trump has done and unfortunately continues to do. It's a rhetoric of hatred and divisiveness. And it was the Dallas chapter of the League of United Latin American Citizens that felt strongly enough that they boycotted and got out in front of the stadium and tried to call attention to the fact that hate speak has no place in the presidential debate, and that it's time that we start talking again about the substance and what these individuals, all of them, have to offer in terms of making America a greater country and keeping us together.
So with that said, Justin, will Governor Bush come out and say, you know what, stop it with the hate speech, Mr. Trump?
Well, I think Governor Bush has been very, from the very beginning since he announced his campaign. I was there on June 15th when he had his announcement, and he's been very inclusive from the beginning. He has been critical of some of the rhetoric, and I think that his inclusive message is going to be a stark contrast to what we're hearing. Governor Bush has a record of substance, and it doesn't help the Republican Party. It doesn't help us win. We have to win by addition. We have to win by becoming the majority party. That video that you showed earlier of Governor Bush speaking to Hispanic voters, speaking to Latin voters in Spanish is going to be something that I think you're going to hear Governor Bush continue to talk about. That's the way Republicans are going to win. We can be a minority party and lose the presidency, or we can be a majority party, grow, take our conservative message, and be a winning party. We can win the presidency and avoid 8 more years of liberal Democratic policies in the White House.
All right,
and by the way, Carol, Carol, if I might, that's why we are very excited to be hosting Governor Bush in, I believe, 6 days. He has a proven track record. When he was in office, 1.5 million jobs were created while he was in office. 80,000 brand new businesses were created while he was in office. He left the state of Florida with a $10 billion, robust budget. He balanced the budget 8 years in a row. He cut taxes to the tune of about $19 billion while he was in office. These are the kinds of substantive records and accomplishments that my community wants to hear from individuals that have done things of this nature, and that's why we're very excited to have the governor with us in a couple of days.
We'll see if he can communicate that tomorrow night. Justin Sayfie, Javier Palomares, thank you both. I appreciate it.